Oh, it's been a while. Okay, so been a little bit of time since I last played this. They have changed the heavy cable. It now has, we now have the 10 length cable. I'm a bit behind. I've been decorating the office, which will also explain why the audio sounds a little bit different, because I can't get the new bastard decorated room to work with me. So that'll take some tinkering. But yeah, we're back, and I'm trying to remember what the hell we were doing. That actually looks terrible. We'll sort that out at some point. But yeah, so last time we got the outpost doing its thing. So we have actually started collecting quite a bit of iron, which is nice. These are all going to error at some point. We haven't got any automation emptying them. What we said was, I think we were going to get this emptied, then connect that to this, which has nothing. But that's fine. How are we looking? Auction's good. Waste tank, I've got a spare. We're okay. Fine. So they have. Sorry, let me get back into character. The authority have given me some blueprint to some new power transmitting stuff. So if we have a look for pylon, so we've got the pylon. Lane cable is impractical. Pylons are strung with cable coil. Hold a coil. Click one node to start a run. A single run reaches 40 meters and costs cost between 5 and 30 depending on how far it spans. It needs a clear path. Pylons carries 2 nodes and each node sets one run, so a pylon passes a line onward rather than branching it. Cut a run with the wire cutters to recover its cable. Deconstructing a pylon returns the cable of every run still attached. And then the terminus counts the length of super heavy cable, so everything reachable through the line becomes one node and everything wide to the terminus. You know what? Don't know what any of this means. Let's just head back home and let's just go and print some, shall we? Okay, so I'm guessing electronic printer. And search for pylon. Power pylon. 15 steel for a single fucking pylon. You taking the biscuit? Ah, we're not making the pylon yet. Crap. Well, I guess steel is something we're going to need, so we probably need to start working towards that. Oh, I know what I need to do. Sorry, getting distracted. But there is something that multiple people told me that I forgot to do in the last video. Let's go and do that now. So apparently in my little coal, oh fuck's sake. Yep, I didn't do a thing. It's fine. We can sort this. It's okay. I have enough of these. We don't have a stack here, but is what it is. Alright, let's quickly play Pick Up Dirty Ore. There we go. So all but one of those is a full stack. So we've got like 9 stacks of coal. That's quite nice. I don't see any more up here. So that's pretty much 9 lots of 50 steel, which is a maths question. 450 steel. No, wait. No, that is a different maths question, or a different answer to a maths question. All right. So we have our coal. We're all good over here. We need to get steel production pretty much sorted. Now, we have the iron at the outpost over there. It's easy enough for us to grab that stuff and get it chucked into, I don't know, a silo or something over there for now. So I think we should probably do that because we're a little bit stuck if we don't get steel, not just for the pylons, but for just scaling as a whole. Greenhouse is still looking good. Very nice. Before I drink or do toilet, we've got 45 litres and we've got 7 litres still in there. Okay. Seems to be evaporating a little bit slow, but it will do its thing. But basically what we've got, say, ran down 7.5 litres in there, plus the 45, we've got 52 litres roughly in total, which isn't too bad. We know, and we have known for some time, that these are pretty much... Oh, I don't even need a shit, never mind. Yeah, they're pretty much water positive, or at least 1 for 1, so we're never going to run out of water. It would be nice to have more. But yeah, for now we're fine. CO2 27.8, very nice. That is our greenhouse network. Yes, that is a thing. And then we have our CO2 there, which is also 27.8. It's what it's on one network. So yeah. And our O2 should be pretty significant. Yes, 4.9 kilomoles. You're still good on the filter. All right. Everything in here is fine. It's just chugging along. Actually, you know what I need to go and do? I need to go and check my pollutant. Because if I recall, we weren't doing very well on that after doing something. Oh, yes. We dug the tunnel, didn't we? So all of our power lines are now under here. It needs some TLC. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So down here we had... This was our methane, which is fine. There's our CO2, perfectly fine. Our liquid pollutant is pretty not fine. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We ain't got much pollutant. Why is that? We're not bringing much in. And... well... yeah, that's not great, actually. So we are... The reason behind that is because we are still... We are only keeping 4 megapascal of it to help keep this liquid, or what is currently gas, as cool as possible. I guess the problem here is we just don't have large amounts of gas sat here waiting. Now, I'm trying to remember why we did it this way. Because what we got in here we've got 4 megapascal in there, 4 megapascal in there. This is the output from the phase change devices. So at the moment, that is just dumping its crap. So why don't I... oh, because that's being used to cool the liquid I already have. Because that is coming out at 27.6, we could run it through. I mean, it won't be coming out at any more than 55.8 at the moment. So in theory, it would cool that pipe down further. Waste tank caution. That's fine. I got a waste tank. Beep bap boop bap. Beep bap. Oh my god, it feels like it's been ages. So pollutant, where are we? We're at the 4 megapascal mark. So we're roughly around here. So we're not going to hold on to liquid until we get that pipe cooled down to 45. At the temperature we're currently at, we went for like 55. We would actually be looking for a pressure of around 4.1. So maybe what we should be doing is increasing the pressure in there because of the temperature. Let it collect. The problem is, as we pump more of this hot pollutant in, there's now nothing in there. It will warm up this tank, which means that the pressure requirement will be higher. Also, did we have is this emptying this system? I can't even remember. It's been ages. I'm pretty sure that is going to some one-way valves, right? Let me go and double check. So I'm pretty sure we did a thing over here. Yes, so we currently have 4 one-way valves. Now, this is probably a little bit overkill. We probably don't need 4. So why don't we remove one and bring the vent down a little bit? That will just allow us to empty out our system just that little bit quicker. So we can collect more pollutant. Because also, the problem is that because that pipe, well, what I was going to say is that pipe's at 150. So, no, you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. Let's see whether we get rid of quite a bit of that in hopes of the next night and just see what happens. But we aren't going to collect until the temperature of what we have drops a little bit more. And I don't want to just stagger ACs either. Yeah, it's just a time thing. We're being impatient. It's a slow process. It'll get there. It is just going to take time. I might up the pressure there. It's not going to have any significant effect right now, but we'll see what happens. Let me... Well, ideally, I need to go and collect some of that dirty oil that we've got over there. I need to get it into a central place, somewhere that I can collect from. Otherwise, it's just going to end up in the lava. I don't think I can make a silo, though. Oh, actually, I might be able to. Whilst we're waiting, they also introduced... and I'm searching the cable, I can't remember what it's called. Well, they fixed the elevator, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the thing they've done. We now have this electrical belt, which allows us to basically hold a lot of cable and 2 tools. Not really sure, unless you're planning on going out on a trip and laying tons of cable. I don't really know when I'd use that. I just use my bag. I think it allows the cable gun, this guy, to refill. Yes, it will auto reload from the belt, which is quite nice. So that's something that I want to get to as well. But a 10 astroloy for the gun. Jeez. Alright, I have the stuff that I'm going to need for the silo. What I'm also going to do is I have 2 mining belts. I mean, that's probably... Yeah, you know what? That's going to be enough. I haven't got much over there. So let me just go and have a shit, and then let's quickly check our pollutant collection. If we're happy that we are gonna, well, it's still functioning, then we'll head over to the outpost, go and get ourselves some resources. Okay, we're 56.3 and going up, but that's because we are condensing in there, so that's expected. So, and it's going to continue to do that until we gather a little bit more. Yeah, because we've set this now to what, 4.2, right? Now, because we have 75 kilomole of pollutant, it's going to take a while for the temperature to increase. It's still going to go up, just slowly. So my hope is that we will be able to get a significant amount of pollutant, and we should be able to cool down the CO2 some. It's currently warming up, but it's because we are warming up what this is taking in via the liquid. So we'll give it some time. We'll give it some time, allow it to equalize, and we'll come back later and hope that some progress is still being made. But for now, let's head back to the outpost. Let's get this silo put up. So for now, obviously, as we always say, it's temporary. Also, I don't have enough chutes for this, actually. That's a problem, isn't it? I'm not going to be able to connect all these up to this one silo, which... never mind. So, you know what? Let's screw off the silo, actually. Did I have a locker over here? No, I've got a locker on me, though. So let me... Can I... Yeah, this one doesn't have to go on the frame. So if we just stick this here for now... Not there. You... No, not you. You... Yeah, fuck it, you. Alright, let's just manually get the shit out of this. What am I doing? Stick you in there. You should be empty, which you are. Give me my drill. And let's just grab what we can out of these. We're going to do them one at a time because there's a bit of a thing there where they're going to just get melted. No, no, no! Shit. Do not melt, fuck you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Where's my backpack gone? No. Do not melt. Do not fucking melt. Oh man. Did I lose another bit of iron? I don't know what I lost there. Did I lose anything? I've got no clue. Alright, anyway. That's not bad. Bear in mind that we're using the slow centrifuges. We don't have to do anything once they're running. What we got in there? 66. We're still fine. There's still nothing in this one, though. Have you not got to the bottom yet? These haven't reached the bottom. Oh, you bloody slowpokes. Alright. Well, we got what we need. We're fine. We're all good on ore. So let's go back and get ourselves some steel made. Something that I haven't thought about, actually, is that I am planning on making steel, but I don't actually have coal. I have dirty ore, which doesn't actually work for me. I would need to process this before I can make any bloody steel. Okay, I do actually have some coal up here, so that's fine. In that case, then, let's stick that in there with those two. And we will try and remember that that is coal. Probably won't. And then give me that and that. We can make a couple of batches of steel, which is absolutely fine by me. Don't you roll into my furnace while I'm doing this. Okay, there we go. We've got some steel. We've got some iron. So we should be okay for a little while. No, don't do that, you fool. Right, that's going to cool down. We need to get the hotbox done. It would make processing ore so much easier. At the moment, there's a lot of waiting involved with this gear. Yeah, we'll get to it, I'm sure, with everything else. So, even though I like the idea of doing the pylons, I'm not going to rush to them. Because until I have a proper need for it, I'm not going to worry. We are going to have the power island over there. That I already mentioned that ages ago. And the fact we've got the pylons just makes that a hell of a lot easier now. So we are going to be running some power lines this way. And I like the idea of all of my everything, outposts, everything connected to one main power section. And then we can just read from that our usage and whatever. So we will probably run pylons over to the outpost too. However, I'm not going to waste my steel. I'm not doing that right now because what we've got just isn't going to last us. From a base point of view, so We obviously have our cooling, and you know what? I am going to go and have another look at that now, just to see what happened during that night and day that we've missed. All right, so we currently have 9.5 liters of pollutant. The temperature of Vulcan is dropping, so we might, and this is a big might, not actually run out of liquid during the day currently. We are now at a point where we've hit the 4.2, so we are now getting rid of pressure again. So that is what's happening in there. We're losing the liquid because it's trying to maintain the pressure. As a result, it will be trying to cool down that tank. So it's just a matter of time before we start seeing that happen. Our CO2 is back down to what it is, so it didn't take long for it to recover. So now we're going to have to just wait, I think. But we should start seeing collection happening in the next minute or so. There we go. We started collecting, and we hadn't run out of liquid pollutant. We had about 4 liters left. So we are currently on a cycle in which we should always have some liquid pollutant available, I hope. Obviously, we're now going to be bumping the temperature up in there, but hopefully the amount of evaporation that occurs will counter the amount of temperature it gains. It's just going to take time. What would be nice is to get all of this sealed. Don't think I'm going to get this done today, though. It's such a long job. But maybe if we got the gas room connected, because each section is going to have kind of like a bulkheads. So if there is a massive problem, the entire base will like close off, become airlocks, something we never got done on Europa. But it would be nice to be able to get to the gas room without having to go outside. So what do I need? I'm going to need to block off this section here, but I'm thinking I might just do glass. Maybe I will actually, I don't know. Maybe we'll just do frames. Why not? We need to block up that section there. That's not really going to be used for anything. We need to block off this entire section here. And I do think, even though we don't need to, I'm going to do frames. I like using frames for building, especially building like underground. You don't really need windows unless you decide to do some kind of aesthetic, kind of pleasing thing, but we're going to have the tunnels. So let me go and get some steel frames, and let's just get some of this room built up. What I might do is replace that with a back pressure regulator. It's going to take a long time to reach a point where that tank's going to blow, right? So maybe I can start collecting some. We probably could put safety on it as well, so like if that gets over pressure, go this way. But I'm not entirely sure it's going to be a problem for a while, especially if we just say when this goes over 4 megapascal, start collecting, just so we've got it. So let me do that. So if we set you to 4,000, turn that on, we can now start collecting some of our own CO2. There we go. 700 kPa. Got that down to 4, and that will slowly heat up the greenhouse, but will also equalize with the greenhouse. So that will cool very, very slow. We can see there it's convecting. So give it a bit of time. We should come in with that 1.9 kilomole will eventually hit 23 degrees C. And any additional CO2 that we collect will get moved into there very slowly. That is something that we need to keep an eye on. The reason I want to do that is because I don't want to get into the same situation we had before, where we open up this area down here and effectively we almost killed our greenhouse. Because I want to pressurize that section next. Now I do have a considerable amount of O2, so we could dump some of that into the room as well. My tablet's run out of power, so I don't think we'll get in the same situation, potentially, but it doesn't hurt to start backing this up ready. So let me go get my frames. Let's go get some sheets printed and start getting that gas room sealed off. As expected, that is not enough frames. But it's, yeah, to be fair, I didn't think it would be. So this section here, I mean, I might set it back a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we just frame it off for now on the understanding that we have that space should we need it. So what do I need? Another 6, 7 frames there. That piece there is going to be a ball ache. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oh, I don't know. 30 frames, maybe? Ah, fuck. That's the roof, right? We can't use frames because that's going to look shite. Okay, we're going to need walls up here instead. Although I think those ones were fine. I saw in the official Stationeers Discord, I'm going to test from my suit, that
Oxygen low.
You can start eating or drinking, close your helmet, and then open it right at the end. I didn't know that. Doesn't really benefit me now because I've got a breathable space, but on worlds where you are struggling to eat and drink because you haven't got a push by space, this is a way you can do it. So imagine you were walking into your vacuum box, and I'm really assuming this works. So what you would do is open your helmet, start drinking, close your helmet, and then you just need to open your helmet towards the end. Well, would you look at that? That's a nice little tip. I assume it works the same with food as well. Let me get a bar. I might eat this a bit quick, but let's try it. So you would open, eat, open, close. Ah, yeah, look at that. I will be using that tip going forward. I need to go and double check, but I don't think I'm collecting CO2 anymore. So we'll go and have a look at that in a second. No, both of the filters in here are dead. So you know what? Just to get it started, give it one of my medium filters. There we go. We're now collecting. This will be collecting it slightly hot, so it is going to warm up our CO2. But at least now we will maintain a pressure of over 4 megapascal, which is nice. Are we sealed? Nope. Are we sealed now? I think not. Oh, of course I'm not sealed. I got a fucking thing down here, haven't I? This ain't sealed. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there will be a hole somewhere. So let me get this corner welded. So I know it's not an airtight thing. The reason I've got an interior door is because I didn't know if I was going to need to split portions of the area. Because in theory, well, not in theory, the room can't the game can't calculate large spaces. So if I just put a door down somewhere, even if this door was always open like that, now doesn't matter because we now have 2 different rooms. Well, we've got a room, we've got a world. Obviously, the world doesn't really bode well for us right now. But you understand the idea that the game now doesn't have to calculate a large space. I'm going to put that wall there for now temporarily. Or temporary, whichever word is correct. But in theory now, this place is airtight. Now we have to just get it vacuumed before we start pumping anything in here. That's 61 degrees. That is warmer than it was before. But is that because we've increased the pressure? Yes, it is slightly hotter. So I would now need to... So we'll do this slowly now. So currently we've got 61 in there. It's about right. So now what we'll do... Probably not that. Let's go 4150. So now it'll want to maintain a slightly higher pressure. So we should see the temperature drop just over a small period of time. That's now warmer, but that's because we are collecting more. And we realistically just need to collect some more liquid pollutant, which should be happening at some point soon. Oh yeah, we'll be collecting in the next sort of 30 seconds. But anyway, this room now airtight. So what we can do is if we go get a large powered vent, I can't actually get out of this room now. I will need to get this airlock built. But then, yeah, if we get this place vacuumed, we will be able to pressurize it with some of the CO2 we've collected. Obviously, once we've done this airlock and got power up here. Power, I think, makes sense to run it off this area. Where is our power coming in? Oh, power's here. Just run power straight up there. Oh, so I got glasses now. So I can't really see where the airlock is, but yeah, we could just tap off this. Look at that. We got 3 length heavy cables. So in theory, if we had the transformer here, this could just operate this section. Not really sure the transformer is needed, but we don't know what we're going to be putting in here, so we will just do it like that. APC, console, couple of active vents. I see no passive vents, and I see no insulated pipes. So we better get those made. And then I'm gonna need... What am I gonna need? I'm gonna need a sensor. Think that... Oh, the airlock chip is always a good idea. There we go. There's one there. And that is all she wrote. Oh, we got a windy storm lock. Let's go and look at my storm box. Look at me little storm box. There's my arc furnace just getting all stormed on. Got a passive vent there. Passive vent on the inside. Yep, and then all we need are the active vents on either one of those. I think we can close this door now. Sensor. Console. Airlock chip. Glass. APC. Get it all cabled in. And there's me trying to be all tidy with my cables, and I forgot my door needs connecting. Son of a... Okie dokie, so now we have hopefully working airlock. Which would appear so. Very, very nice. Right, so... you know what? I was going to use one of those vents to vacuum out the space, but we'll be here all fucking day. So I think all we need to do is get... we can get a passive... sorry, not a passive vent. A powered vent connected to that pipe system there. Because that's the one that's just going outside. And it's the one where we're collecting our pollutant. And we'll just get this room vacuumed. Actually, I want to try something. It's a waste, but I'm going to try it anyway. So, my understanding is that they've changed the build states of... Well, I don't really know which bit they've changed. But basically... I'm going to need more pipes anyway. You can... I think build structures using alternative items. So what I mean by that is the powered vent requires 2 kit pipes, and in the past you would have had to have printed 2 of the kit pipe. But I think, and I might be wrong, but I think I could use insulated pipes. Now, when you dismantle the vent, you don't get the insulated pipes back, you'll get the normal pipe back. So to that kind of thing, it is a waste. Like, it's cheaper for me to print out the pipes. But in a pinch, if you haven't got the item, then this should be pretty nice. So like, sometimes things need iron sheets, but sometimes they only need 1 iron sheet, and I just can't be bothered. I would rather use a steel sheet myself. Well, I think that's now possible. So let's try it. So we're just going to stick, and obviously I know there are better vents than this, but I'm going for this one anyway. So if I do that and get that connected, this is only a temporary vent anyway. It will be removed because it won't be needed after this. Come on. So there you can see it needs, oh, it even tells you, look, screwdriver and 2 pipes or kit insulated pipe. Does that only need 1, or is it going to use 2? Oh no, so it used 2. Okay, fine. So if I was to dismantle that now, I will only get normal pipes back. But it means that I don't have to go all the way back to my base and print out the stupid pipes it needs, even though I've got a better pipe on me. So I think that is a nice little change there. Don't know if I can cable, but that's another problem. And we are vacuuming this space. So that's going to take a minute or so. Once that's done, we should be able to start potentially pressurizing it. We just need to be mindful that we don't have any cooling in here yet. So that is something that, I mean, our greenhouse might, and I say bloody might, be able to cool this space down. We've got the AC, which would be dumping its heat into this network. This one. I guess the problem we've got at the moment is we ain't got no liquid pollutant, and that temperature in there is hotter. Why? So you're hotter because we're at the pressure, but it's going to try and maintain that pressure. So we're using a lot of our liquid pollutant to actually cool down this tank. When realistically, what we want to be doing is keeping hold of the liquid pollutant so we can actually use it in our cooling. Because this is also going to cool that, right? So if we don't pass any liquid through, we effectively aren't cooling our CO2. We also are not getting that little bit of passive cooling we've been getting. So I'm gonna hold on to some liquid for a little bit now. I'm not gonna turn this on. We'll leave this as a backup should we absolutely have a problem. And just see if we can start cooling this down, because if not, then our greenhouse is going to start suffering. We have got a little bit of liquid in there, but as you can see, it's dropping, so that ain't going to last very long. Temperature outside is 500 degrees, so we should start collecting again shortly. Decisions. Okay, have we actually collected any CO2 or any additional CO2? Oh, we did. We did collect a little bit. So we've got 3 kilomoles in there. 29 degrees, not great, but it's a thing. We That is not going to stretch for that room in there. There is not enough in there. The O2 might. The O2 absolutely might. We've got 5 kilomoles. Not a lot of pressure, but it's a large tank. I mean, it would be nice to be able to work in there without having to keep going outside. But what would also be nice would be to be able to get to the workshop without going outside. Then we can just be inside all the time getting shit done. Corridor we have, I think, is about here. Maybe here. How would we link that up into this part of the base? I mean, under the stairs there is screaming out at me. I just need to... I could do with potentially blocking that off. I mean, could that work? I don't know. I'm not sure there's anywhere up here. Really. I mean, maybe under the stairs is the best option. Maybe. If we... oh, I don't know. I do not know. Getting to all the other rooms is going to have to be maintenance areas, right? So it doesn't need to be accessible to the public. So the auditor can feck off. But what we could do is we could have this as a floor grating, not frames. We could have a door under the stairs going to the maintenance area. Seems like a good a place as any, I think. Put a frame there. Let me go outside and figure out where that is. I can't get outside to figure out where that is. Everywhere is sealed. Alright, back in the gas room. Hey, it's vacuum in here. Oh, not quite. Almost. Oh. I can't actually get to the corridor without popping this wall off. It's fine, we'll sort it. Alright, so this way will take us to the workshop. Hopefully. Where are we in relation to that transfer? So the transfer... Oh, I'm fucking miles away. I'm fucking miles away. The transformer there. That's where the stairs are, I think. That corner there is at the top of the stairs. So I need to try and get to there. Does it matter that these are really long corridors? Probably not, right? It's maintenance area. It's fine. If you have to go for a bit of walk, you got to go for a bit of a walk. There are shorter ways to get around. So let's just do it. Oh, also, where are my frames? Ah. So my transformer's there, which means the stairs is somewhere here. Or the stairs is going to be somewhere here. I think that is that corner frame. Which means that frame there is where we will be popping off the wall, the frame. So if we were to pop that off, we would come out here. We would have stairs coming there. Yeah, frame. Get rid of those. We'd put walls there instead. So you'd have a door. Get rid of those frames. Stairs to there. Maybe. Maybe you'd put the stairs over here. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's stop with all the bloody guessing. Let's just go get some fucking stairs. Ah, I'm stuck in the hole. That's what she said. Well, no, actually, that's what he said. Not me, though. I don't get stuck. I'm very aware that every time I open that wall, I let pressure in here. I know. But until I've got it connected, I'm not going to fuck about making another airlock. Not yet, anyway. Do you remember when I organized all of this shit? That was a long time ago. Actually, I could take that frame out now, right? Okay. So ignore that massive hole. This will be a floor grating. So I'm going to take that out, and there'll be another floor grating there. That out. That'll become a wall with a floor grating above it. We will have stairs somewhere. That'll probably get moved into the maintenance area. Makes more sense than it being there. Okay. All right, so that is where we've just put the thing. So the door would go where that frame is. So then if I was to put the stairs there, like that. Yeah, that might work. And then we did more stairs here. More stairs there. Does that work? Did I just place those stairs? I did. Let's do a little bit of mining. Ah, that is actually perfect with where I put my corridor. Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong side of the stairs. Actually, we'll just mine around it because we're going to have to get around here again anyway. Excuse me, Mr. Frame. Back off. Alright. And then that one will obviously get removed. And that will be that. So, all I need to do is get this place sealed up, really. Which seems like an easy job. I'm not sure it is an easy job. But that works, right? It's a bit long, but it's a maintenance area. It's not supposed to be short. It spans the entire length of the base. Yes, there are a couple of kind of wiggly, wormy ways around it, but hey, I didn't design this place. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Might be quite a good idea to make that an airlock sooner rather than later. Just a suggestion. Also, I've done that wrong, haven't I? That's the floor, you prick. Oh, you dick. That's not right. I'm an absolute moron. Absolute bloody moron. That should be there. Which means it doesn't work, because that fucker's in the way. Dickhead. Oh my fucking god. What the fuck, man? The world just scared me shitless. Okay. Leaves me with a slight problem that these frames are in the way. But if all of this is going to be inside pressurized anyway, it doesn't matter that they'll get removed and replaced with floor gratings on top, I guess. That'll be okay. Right. Let's start just filling in some of these sides. Oh, actually, you know what? You know what? There is something that there was a comment a little while ago, a couple of episodes back, talking about how the terrain is airtight. Now, I already knew this. I already knew the terrain was airtight. But back in the day, I used to have problems loading into the game and the terrain taking a little bit longer to load in. And so it would cause problems like the atmosphere would leak in a little bit every time I loaded. Apparently, it's a lot better now. That's not necessarily a problem. So maybe what we do is we just incorporate this terrain into our build. So if I just grab what I can off that bit there, maybe we just save ourselves some resources. So if we were to get rid of, a lot of this might go back. I just want to get rid of this bit off the stairs. And then in theory, if we were to do this, So as long as you go round and do it properly, then technically it's airtight. It just feels like you shouldn't trust it. I mean, I'm happy to try it. I don't really have a concern with trying it. I just think it could become a problem. That's not what I meant to do. It could become a problem if it breaks. But I guess we test it sooner rather than later in the place where it doesn't matter. And we just see what the fuck happens. I know I probably don't have to put it into... Oh, you fool. Probably don't have to put it into the frame, but it just feels like it gives you a better edge if I do. And because they're frames, we're not going to see it on the other side. The only thing I would say down here is we'd be wasting a lot of oxygen or whatever filling up a space that really didn't need it. So maybe for the under bits like this, we would use frames like so. Maybe that makes a little bit of sense. Oh crap, I gotta go. But not this way. Okay, so I just seal myself in here and it's still getting warm, which means there's somewhere that isn't sealed. Now this is going to get quite difficult because where the hell is the hole? It could be the smallest insignificant thing. Or it could be that massive gigantic hole here. The temperature isn't going up. And now it is. Is that airtight? Alright, so now this way isn't airtight, but we kind of figured it probably wouldn't be. So is that... Hang on a second. So I don't know if this is how this works, but if I did this, this isn't a room, right? That's not how this works. It is! Oh, you bastard! This is a room! Room? Not a room. Room? Not a room. Well, fuck me sideways. Okay. That's quite nice. We obviously still need to test the whole loading back into the water and ensuring that it doesn't lose pressure, but all in all, we have a pressurized space. Well, we have an area that we could pressurize. You know what we can do? Is, for the sake of testing, boom, 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 boom. If I pop this wall off, do we start vacuuming this space? I'd be a little concerned on the size of this space. I would want to put additional doors in here, there, and everywhere. But we have got an airflow. And it is dropping in pressure. So in theory, we can use terrain. And I always knew this was the case. This really, I don't know why I'm so surprised. This really isn't what's surprising. What we need to test is that we don't lose this pressurized space on game load. So I guess we'll find out next time we we wake up on Vulcan. So all we need to do is in the I don't want to fuck up my workshop though. I mean, I guess out of all places, this is the place that doesn't really matter, right? Oh, apart from I'm right underneath the fucking... Oh, that doesn't matter because there'll be floor gratings anyway. So if that was gone, that was gone. Looks like we're still airtight, which is fine by me. So I will put a frame there just to, I don't know, just to something. And then if I take this one out, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Because then what we would do, some of these frames might fuck me over. But if I did that, got rid of this terrain, as long as we don't see a spike in pressure, in theory, we should be good. Get me some floor gratings. Okay, so you would have your area, and then under here we'll have a maintenance access. What I might do, just because I feel a little bit unsure, a bit uneasy about it all, I don't think it would hurt to have some composite walls there. And then this, maybe a composite wall there as well. We'd make this into an airlock that is always open, unless there's a problem. So at least at that point, we are still cut off from it if we really had to be. So yeah, that becomes airlock. Well, this corner becomes airlock. Straight down to here. Where it looks like we are drawing a vacuum. Oh. Why is that 172 degrees? That's... Oh. Look at my liquid pollutant. Why have we got such heat in there? Well, on the plus side, we've got a shed ton of that. The output is... how is... Oh, it's... Well, that pipe gets to outside. I don't understand how that's 118. That's 35, so maybe that's causing that pipe to seem cooler. My liquid is now pretty fucking hot again, but as time goes on, that will cool. CO2 is at 35.7. We are still feeding this in. I need to go and check how much CO2 I've actually got collected inside the greenhouse now. All right, but this is good. This is good. And by evaporating that, we'll still get our CO2 down to about, what is that, 16 degrees we could do, because there's like a 70-degree thing. So that's not necessarily a problem, it being that hot. However, the pressure in there is now climbing. So maybe what we do is we set this to something quite high. So that's going to massively start using... Yeah, look how quickly we're using the liquid now. But we're forcing the evaporation. And that's going to try and get to 4,550. Why don't I set that to 4,600? So 4,600 will become our absolute kind of maximum. Mate, that's getting cold. Look at that. So yeah, I need to work on cooling this a bit better. But it's happening naturally because of the evaporation that's happening in there. Hopefully the amount of liquid we use will reduce. That pipe system has now come down, so we've got 3 kilomoles of pollutant there just waiting to condense, which is very, very good. But as you can see, we are, even though we're condensing that pretty quickly, or at least I think pretty quickly, we are
hydration critical.
Still not making enough to not be in the red. There's no real way of speeding that up, because the condensation valves are only passing so much through. Even if I added more of those, it wouldn't really matter. Oh, but you can see there, look, now we're pretty equalized. So what we're on, 488 liters. My hope would be we may start seeing that go up slightly. Nope, it's going down, but it's going down slower. Just leave it, let it be, let it do its thing. We'll be fine. We might be very close to a point. One thing I always do, one bad habit I've got into, and I've got to try and get out of this habit, is I become more than happy just to work in vacuum. And realistically, it's not the point, right? I should be trying to pressurize my spaces, deal with the cooling, but I just never do it early enough. I end up with massive spaces like this, and it just, who knows when this is going to get pressurized. Like, that's how I've started to play, but I'm not a fan of that, and I want to get out of that habit. I want the challenge of trying to force myself to do the cooling. At the moment, we only care about the greenhouse, but that shouldn't be the case. We should be really starting to pressurize the entire base, especially now that most of the rooms are about to be connected. It would be nice to be able to walk through the entire base with our helmet open. Our cooling is not at all up to standard. I need to massively improve on the cooling setup if we have any hope of cooling down the space. I need to automate these shutters so we don't transfer heat in. That's something else that I need to do. Just add it to the feckin' list. So we have got now to a point where we're starting to gain liquid, which is obviously good. That is good. So we should start seeing the temperature of the CO2 start dropping. How would I improve my cooling? We've now stopped collecting by the looks of that. Oh, we're collecting a lot less now. So what I've got at the moment is a pretty basic setup, I think most people will say. Collecting Vulcan, get the pollutant, and just do what we're doing. Very basic, very easy way of phase changing, but I need more cooling. Now, there are other ways, like there are other gases and liquids in the game. Silanol, from what I understand, is one of the best ones potentially. We don't have access to that right now. We need to do more trading. We need to do a lot of trading, actually. But with what we've currently got, I think it's just about scaling, right? There is the option of doing a closed system. We did that on the, well, we've done that on the What If series, the live streams, and yes, it is working. I just don't know if it's better than what we've got here. Becomes a much more controlled setup, I think. Because you don't need. All we need is a tank of cold Vulcan, and then you end up dumping heat from the condensation side into that tank, and then you just need to make sure that's cool. And the easy way of doing that is just to obviously cool it down during the nighttime. I just don't know if it's more efficient than this. Really. This doesn't, like, from a first point of view, this doesn't look that efficient, but we've got a lot of liquid, which we're obviously evaporating pretty quickly, but that's because we're no longer really collecting it. We haven't got much left in there. And don't forget as well, like, we are slowly cooling our CO2 down here whilst still collecting hot CO2. So we are not doing bad at all. Like, how much CO2 have we actually collected? We've got 8 kilomoles of CO2 at 31 degrees. That's good. See, the greenhouse, yeah, and also we're dumping heat into it as well. So that CO2, right, we are still cooling it whilst collecting hot CO2 and dumping heat from the greenhouse in there. Our cooling setup is very primitive, but we are good.
Health low.
Ah, shushy noise. I think what I'm going to do, next time what we're going to, let's just finish off getting everything connected, because it'll become easier to work in, right? So we'll need to get an airlock between, because I don't feel comfortable just having this door open, even when we've got that side vacuumed, not for until I've tested it enough that I'm happy we're not going to get any leaks. So we'll put an airlock here so that we can get in and out of the gas room without having to go all the way outside. That's step number 1. What I then want to do is I want to start working towards nitrogen. We can make nitrogen in the composter, I think. Let me have a look. The advanced, I'm sure we can get nitrogen from this. Might be being very wrong there, but I'm sure it'll off gas. Yeah, it releases nitrogen and methane. Don't care about the methane at all. But the nitrogen, I wouldn't. So we can collect that. We can start well, it's a hell of a job, but working towards getting that liquefied so then we can start healing ourselves in a cryopod. That would be very nice. And that's the only way of having a spawn point as well. Not that it's going to matter because it's a one life series, but it's a nice way of saying we got to that. Somebody mentioned use the harm suit, where I think this suit is probably the better of the two. You don't get the movement reduction, plus you don't need to worry about a coolant, but it might be quite nice to get the harm suit and just say we've done it. So maybe we'll do that in this playthrough as well. But yeah, that stuff I want to work towards in like the kind of the mid-term. I want to make the power island, so we need to get all that sorted out, get the pylons connected. We could probably actually start thinking about fuel production. I need to increase my O2 production, which we can do just by sticking more ferns in. Job done. And then we can use that oxygen in fuel to power some centrifuges. Gets our oil much quicker. Oh man, it's like a massive long list of things to do. And we've got to try and please the auditor as well. That's another thing that we have to try and do, but who knows when she's going to be back. So yeah, lots to do. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate your time. I am sorry if you think the microphone is not the best quality. Obviously, I did some testing before for ages. Got it to a point that I was happy with, but I'm very aware it sounds different. I need to have a play. The new office is echoey. I've got to get it all furnished. I have got some panels on the wall, but they're just not doing the job. So I need some more. But yeah, open to any advice. So feel free to throw your advice this way, and I will read it. Think it's good. Try and remember. Forget. Do something else. But throw it my way anyway. That's absolutely fine. And yeah, we will pick up from here next time, and the hope being that we kind of know what we're planning on doing next, really, because there's a lot to do and I'm just not sure where my priority should be right now. Like I said, I would like to get this place pressurized, and maybe we'll do the stupid and maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll work on getting the base pressurized as soon as we've got this down to a vacuum. Maybe that's a thing. But until the next one, take it easy, and I will see you then. Bye.